There you go. So, as promised, the easiest way to switch up the scale. To go back through it real quick, in A minor, we've got A minor ends at C, which is C major. That ends at E. Then you've got the connector scale. On these bottom three strings, it goes from the end of the major scale to the beginning of your minor scale. Same down here with this E. And that ends at your A minor. See what I'm saying? On these bottom three strings. On the top three strings, it ends at G. 2 frets up is your A. And that's all three of these strings. So it's nice and circular. You've got your minor scale, your major scale, your connector scale, going back to your minor scale. That connection just connects your major back to your minor. That way you've got the entire fretboard in whatever key you want it. Just to demonstrate how this works, let's do something in A minor real quick. Now, let's do D minor now. Stop there for a second. All we do is the A minor we were at, slide it up to D. Everything else stays the same. You've got D minor, exact same minor scale. D minor ends on F. Ends on F, so you've got the F major. Screw that. You got F major. At the end of F major, it stops on A at your connector scale in D minor. And that ends on C. 2 steps up, 2 frets up is your D again. Or that is your D minor on these bottom 3 strings. That's how easy this is, man. Everything connects and it's all circular, and you just change where your minor and your major is to fit the song, and you've got the entire fretboard in a natural scale. So, ignore that call. That's how easy it is. It just, all you're doing is moving your minor or your major. So if you're playing, if you memorize the scale in A minor, I gave it to you in the only scale you'll need or something like that. I forget what I called that. In that video, I gave you the entire scale, the pattern of it on screen, so you can actually look at it. Shh, I'm talking. And if you memorize that scale, that's in A minor. If you memorize that entire scale, which is easy enough, all it is a minor scale, a little tweaked, because I do that so that these fit together well. And it's easy to remember. Once you, on the minor scale, you're right up on the major, and on these first 3 strings, or the first 2 strings, you're right up against the major. On the rest of them, you're always 2 frets away. I keep that 2 fret thing going when you're going from the on the major to the connector. Everything connects from the major to the connector scale. Wherever you're ending on that major, that's where you're beginning on the connector scale to connect back to the minor. To the minor scale, that 2 fret difference that you've got to memorize on these bottom 4 strings from the minor to the major, that's same 2 fret difference is on the top 3 strings from the connector back to your minor. But the bottom 3 strings from the major scale to the connector scale to the minor scale, they all overlap by 1 note. That last note of the major scale is the first note of your connector scale. The last note of the connector scale is the first note of your minor scale. I try to keep this as easy as possible to memorize, and once you memorize it and you can go through the scales and not have to worry about or trying to figure out which one's a minor and which one's a major, you've got the entire fretboard, then just move your minor to wherever you want it, or move your major wherever you want it. And G major, everything still aligns. You've still got from G major, from the minor scale or the major scale, at the end of it, the connector scale's right there. And that connects to your minor, which is E minor, which is easy enough to remember because G, E, E minor. It's it's that easy, guys. That's the easiest way to memorize a fretboard. And then every other scale you learn, like that whole major slide, and all of that is just tips and tricks at that point, because you've already got the entire fretboard down. So by all means, learn other scales, but learn that first. You've got the entire fretboard in any key you want, and all you have to memorize is the notes in the top string first. After that, the rest just comes natural.